Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. Today's video is my official Sephora recommendations for the Sephora savings event coming up. I'm going to put the dates of the Sephora savings event right here on the screen. But if you're a Rouge, for you the event starts November 1st, and if you're a VIB or an insider, the event starts November the 5th. I tried to narrow down my list of suggestions as much as I could, and in front of me I only have my current obsessions, the products that I cannot put down, that I cannot stop using, and those are the ones I'm going to be talking about. Of course, they're not all new products by any means. I also have my tried and true products that I recommend year after year because nothing better has come out. With that said, I'm going to tag a lot of these products right here on the video. As I mentioned them, you'll see them like pop up on the screen, but I can only do up to 30 products and I have a few over 30. So the full list with all of the products and all of the links is in the description box below. Whenever you guys shop from my tagged products or the links in the description box, you are helping out my channel. And it truly is incredibly helpful to creators when you guys shop through our links. So I greatly appreciate it when you guys shop using the products that I'm tagging or linking for you. Let's go ahead and get started. I have just a couple of hair care products that I want to recommend for you. One of them is a dry shampoo that I recently tried and immediately fell in love with, and that is this one right here, the K18 Airwash Dry Shampoo. I mentioned this one in a recent shop with me video and I got really good feedback from you on it, so I immediately had to grab it. I have been using it for the past 2 weeks, I believe, maybe 3 now, and I love it. It's actually a wet-ish dry shampoo. It's priced kind of wet on the hair, but it doesn't mess up your hairstyle if you have your hair styled, and it absorbs oil like no dry shampoo I have ever tried. It is the greatest at like keeping your scalp super dry for days and days and days. So if you guys are looking for a new dry shampoo to try, this is my recommendation. I absolutely love it. The other hair care recommendation I have is a shampoo and conditioner that I have been obsessed with. I don't have it with me because I fully use them and they're currently sitting on my card so that I can get them during the Sephora savings event. I want to restock on these myself, and it is the full shampoo and conditioner from Living Proof. I absolutely love this shampoo and conditioner line. It's something else that also extends the wear of my hair. It keeps my scalp super clean. I feel like it helps tremendously with buildup. Whenever I use shampoos that are too hydrating, I get a little bit of dandruff, and with these, never, okay? Never. They are fantastic. It extends the wear of my hair. My hair barely gets oily when I am on this shampoo and conditioner. And so if you want to not wash your hair as often, if you're lazy like me and you don't like styling your hair, so you want to not have to wash your hair as often, I highly recommend that you try the full line from Living Proof. Something I always recommend you guys get during the Sephora savings event is this right here. This is tried and true. I've had it for years. I restock on it every chance the Sephora savings event starts. I actually have it in my card right now as well. And of course, I'm talking about the Sephora Daily Brush Cleaning Spray. This is what I use to clean my brushes on a daily basis. This is what I use for my natural goat hair brushes from Rephr, and I love it because it's very hydrating for your brushes. The Cinema Secrets one, I believe that's the name of the other one that's very popular. That one strips moisture from your brushes because it has a lot of alcohol on it, and if you have natural hair brushes, it'll mess them up, okay? And you don't want to spend a ton of money on your natural hair brushes for them to get messed up by a cleaner. So this is what I recommend, especially if you have Rephr brushes, because it not only cleans them instantly, but it hydrates the hairs and it keeps them lasting good for years and years and years. These are actually dirty, but they are the perfect example. These are my Rephr number 15 brushes. This one I've had for the past, I don't know, 5 years, and this one is like 2 months old. You can definitely tell the difference. This one does look a bit newer, but 5 years and it still has the right shape. It still has all of its bristles and it still blends Honestly, even better than the new one in my opinion, because I like the shape of my, you know, super used one better, but this one will get there. Anyways, 5 years and it looks pretty much the same as a brand new one. And I have always cleaned it using the Sephora collection brush cleaning spray because it hydrates your brushes, and so it's going to protect your natural hair brushes. I don't think I'll ever not recommend this during a Sephora savings event. It is always like one of the first things I think of restocking on. I'm excited to talk about skincare with you guys because I actually have a new moisturizer recommendation, which honestly surprised me too, okay? So I recently fully ran out of my magic cream. You guys know I've been using magic cream for ages, but this jar is $100. And in this economy, I really have been trying not to restock on it unless there's like a really good sale, and with a really good sale, I will probably restock on my magic cream, meaning like 30% plus or more off. I don't want to get it with a 20% off discount. I'm really hoping for a good sale to restock on my magic cream, but the Sephora savings event is not it. And so I have a new recommendation for those of you who, like me, also don't want to spend $100 on moisturizer right now. And it is this moisturizer right here from Innisfree. It's called the Green Tea Seed Hyaluronic Cream. This was sent to me in PR and I had opened it and tested out the texture and it looked intriguing to me. So when I ran out of my magic cream, I started using it and I have fallen in love with it, you guys. While it's not magic cream, I don't miss it. Usually the moment I run out of magic cream, I immediately want to have it again because the other moisturizers I've tried just make me miss the texture and the hydration. This one, again, not 100% the same. I'm not calling it a dupe or anything like that, not at all, but it doesn't make me miss magic cream, and so I highly recommend it because this is $30. Take a look at it blended out on my skin right here. You see that beautiful glow that it gives the skin. It's lightweight, and I don't want to say it sinks right in because when it comes to moisturizers, I don't want it to sink right in. I want my skin to feel moist and hydrated and kind of protected. So this one does kind of leave you that bit of product laying on the skin, and that makes you feel almost like you're wearing a hydrating mask, and I absolutely love that. I feel like magic cream feels similar in that sense. It gives you amazing glow, and I feel like the hydration lasts for a very long time. And again, $30 versus $100. Not knocking magic cream, I love it. Whenever it goes on sale, I will get it, but I feel like I found something that is a pretty good alternative and for a fraction of the price. I'm very excited about this Innisfree moisturizer, and I really hope that you guys try it, and if you do, please let me know if you love it like I do, because again, this is the only time ever since I first started using magic cream like 5-6 years ago that I stopped using it, and I have something that doesn't make me miss it, you know? So I don't know, I'm very excited about that moisturizer, so I highly recommend it. When it comes to eye cream, I'm using the Magic eye cream. I feel like a lot of the eye creams I like kind of run around the same price. So the Magic Eye Rescue from Charlotte Tilbury is still my #1 recommendation. It's hydrating, it's anti-aging, it helps with dark circles, it's nice and glowy, it's fantastic. If I ever find something that doesn't make me miss having that, I'll make sure to share it with you as well. Let's get into the makeup, and when I tell you I have multiple of my favorite eyebrow gel in my cart right now, because I always need to have backups of this one. I actually recently had to buy it. This one is new-ish. It's like a week or 2 weeks old. And I have several of these sitting in my Sephora cart because I need to have backups of it. I would say the Rare Beauty Eyebrow Gel lasts me probably around 4 months when I'm using it on a daily basis, but you don't ever see inside, so it's hard to tell when it's running out. I highly recommend that you get your hands on the Rare Beauty Eyebrow Gel if you have not yet. It is what I give my brows the laminated look with, what I lift my eyebrows with. This I think I've been using for over a year now. I believe it's now over a year old. And I have never tried a product that makes my eyebrows stay in place as easily and hassle-free as this one does. So if you have thick brows, or if you don't, if you just want your brows to just kind of have the fluffy laminated effect, this is 100% the best product to own in order to get that look. The Rare Beauty Eyebrow Gel is fantastic and I highly recommend it. Again, I have I think 3 of them on my cart right now because I want to never run out of this product. If this ever gets discontinued, I will riot. When it comes to an eyebrow pencil, this right here is my #1 recommendation from Sephora, the Charlotte Tilbury Brow Sheet. And the reason I always love to recommend this one is because you only need to spend $25 or the full price on this product once, and then you can always go back for the $15 refill. And it is a really good eyebrow pencil. It fills in easily. You can get a lot of definition with it. The actual packaging of it is amazing because I've had it since it first came out. I was still working at Nordstrom when this one came out, and every single letter is still very visible on the actual packaging. It looks new. They did a really good job on the outside packaging of this one. It's very high quality, and so it's easy to just get the little refills and just continue to have an eyebrow pencil that looks beautiful and performs amazing. Also, something else that is in my Sephora card at the moment, the refills of this one, because it's been a while since I've had it. I've been doing my eyebrows with the Benefit one, but I miss it. I love this one. And again, $15 for the refill is unbeatable in my opinion. This is pigmented. It works well with eyebrow gels. You can get your eyebrows to look nice and defined. You can create the little hair-like strokes. I love it. I feel like I did a pretty good job at narrowing down everything except primers and foundations, because I always want to give you guys options. I don't just want to say this is my favorite and that's it, because we all have different skin types. So I have 3 different primers to share with you. My most favorite primer ever, the one that would be the one if I could only recommend one, is this one here, which is the Tatcha, the Liquid Silk Canvas. This one is perfect for anyone with dry to combination skin, and it is beautiful at blurring out your pores. This is actually what I'm wearing today underneath my very glowy foundation. And as you can see, even though my cheeks are super glowy at the moment, I actually should powder them. My pores don't look huge, and that is because I have them filled with the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. It's easy to use. It works well with any foundation you put on top. It's hydrating without being too hydrating, and it also helps control your oils from coming through. It's a very bizarre formula that I absolutely love. It makes your makeup last forever. Again, if I could only recommend one primer to you, this one right here would be it, because I think it works for a vast majority of people and I love the way it looks on the skin. But I also have 2 others, because if you have very, very oily skin, you definitely want to use a mattifying primer. And so my favorite mattifying primer to recommend is this one from Milk. It just keeps your makeup on forever. It's not sticky at all, but it will keep your oils at bay all day long. It makes your makeup last forever. I highly recommend it. I have heard from a lot of people who have oily skin that this truly is the one thing that works for them. And so if you have oily skin, this is the primer for you. And then my third and last primer recommendation is this one right here from One Size Beauty, the Secure the Glow Hydrating Primer. This is a bit hydrating, but I wouldn't say it's a super glowy primer. My favorite thing about this one is that it has a bit of tackiness to it, just a slight tiny bit of tackiness to it that makes any foundation you put on top truly adhere so beautifully to the skin. I fell in love with this primer because this primer made me fall in love with foundations that I wanted to love, but they just didn't have enough coverage for me on their own. And with this primer underneath, I was able to build them up a little bit more for those foundations to cover up my redness. So I'm talking about the Flawless Foundation from Laura Mercier specifically, and some skin tints. You guys know I love natural looking makeup, but I also have rosacea. And so my cheeks need to be covered, and very light, beautifully natural looking foundations sometimes don't cover the redness on my cheek enough, and this primer solved that problem for me. And so that's the reason it's in this video and the reason I'm recommending it. If you want something that is slightly tacky in order for your foundation to like just have a bit more coverage, this is your savior right here. It's so good. If you, like me, love a good color corrector for your under eyes because you have dark circles, I have a new recommendation for you that I have been loving for the past few months, and that is this one from Tarte, the Tarte Creaseless Corrector. This has a fantastic formula with beautiful coverage. Of course, I have mine in the shade Peach. Take a look right there at my little drop. It has a creamy hydrating formula that truly helps to cover the dark circles so freaking beautifully. And while it's creamy, it also sinks right in on the under eye area and it makes it undetectable on the skin, so you can go over it with any other concealer formula that you love. And it immediately hides the purpley hues underneath my eyes, which is the most important thing for me. It's called the Tarte Creaseless Corrector. I truly believe it's pretty spot on, the name, because I really don't find that this one creases much underneath my eyes. It is fantastic. So if you're looking for an amazing color corrector, definitely add this one to your cart. I narrowed down my concealers to 2, which I am honestly thrilled about because I had like 5 concealers in front of me earlier. But I feel like these are the ones that I feel the strongest about. The first one is the only one I would recommend if I could only recommend one. And that is this one right here from Laura Mercier. The Laura Mercier Real Flawless Concealer. I have mine in the shade 1N1. You guys, this concealer is so good. It's pretty much the only concealer I have been reaching for ever since I tried it. Unless I'm trying like a new concealer, this is the one that I'm always like, ooh, that's the one I want to grab. The Laura Mercier concealer is hydrating. It has a beautiful medium coverage. It's super thin. It sinks right into the skin. It is brightening. The shade I have at least is brightening. It has a beautiful glowy finish, and as you can see, the coverage is amazing. I would say a high medium coverage that sinks right under the eyes, and it is undetectable, and it's hydrating if you have dry under eyes, sagging skin, lines, wrinkles, anything like that underneath the eyes. This concealer is going to be amazing for you because it is so thin. It doesn't crease. It has such amazing coverage. Anything you want covered will be covered. At the same time, it's very hydrating and it has this beautiful glow to it. It honestly is perfection in a concealer, and I really love it and highly recommend it. If I had to narrow it down to one, this would be my one recommendation right here. However, I do also want to talk about a new one I tried recently from Westman Atelier that I really have been loving. This is definitely a bit more of a splurge. I have mine in the shade L4, but this is a fantastic concealer as well. This one has, in my opinion, a full coverage, even more coverage than the Laura Mercier. It is very thin. It has a bit more of a natural finish rather than glowy, but the coverage is amazing, the creaminess is amazing, and this concealer does not crease, okay? These two, I can claim they like barely crease, and once you set them with like the tiniest bit of translucent powder, they will not crease. The one from Westman Atelier, even if you don't set it with translucent powder, it very rarely creases, if at all. It is the most creaseless concealer I have ever tried. I can tell you that right now. I mentioned it in yesterday's video because I was doing an updates on it and how impressed I am about it. It is a fantastic concealer. If your main concern is your concealer creasing, this is the one that I would recommend for you, because I have never seen a concealer that creases less than this one does. I honestly love it, and I'm thrilled to have tried it because it is amazing. Moving on to foundation, I have a few different ones to recommend. If you're looking for a stick foundation or something with a very customizable coverage, I highly recommend you get your hands on the Fenty Blurring Stick Foundation. I have mine in shade 8. Here's what this looks like, and my favorite thing about this one is the versatility of it. This foundation can give you a sheer coverage, a medium coverage, or up to a high medium coverage depending on how much product you apply. Not only is it beautiful on the skin and it fully covers all of my redness, but also the blurring part of the name, not a lie, it does actually blur your pores beautifully. It has a natural finish to it. You can take it with you on the go and do your makeup on the go very easily. This is perfect for those no makeup days. I've even used it as a primer before because I can blur my pores with it and then apply a foundation on top, and it works wonderfully like that. Honestly, this is the best stick foundation I have personally ever tried. And I've tried a lot of them, but none of them work for me as well as this one does. This one sinks right into the skin. It never looks makeupy or cakey or anything. It's truly fantastic and I highly, highly recommend it. If you are looking for a skin tint specifically, my favorite skin tint at the moment is this one from Supergood, the Supergood ProtecTint. Not only does this have an SPF of 50, which is fantastic, but it looks amazing on the skin. It has a beautiful buildable medium coverage. Let me just add a drop right here. Beautiful buildable medium coverage, I was saying, and it has a beautiful glowy finish to it. It sinks right into the skin. It makes your face look natural. It lasts all day. I don't find that it wears off at all. It doesn't get super oily throughout the day. It does have a glowy finish that stays glowy throughout the day, but like if you set it with translucent powder and make it matte, then that will be that. It's not going to come back to haunt you, you know. I love the coverage, I love the protection, I love the finish of this one, and it is currently my #1 favorite skin tint. So if you're looking for a skin tint, the Supergood one is definitely where it is at for me, and I have mine in the shade 24 Neutral. The next foundation I want to recommend is actually the one I'm wearing today, which is the new Tatcha foundation. This is the Major Skin Hydrolux Luminous Skin Perfecting Foundation. I have mine in the shade 10 Neutral. You guys, this foundation is perfection if you have normal or dry skin. I have heard people who have oily skin complain about it, and combination skin not love it as much, but if you are super dry like I am, or you have normal skin and like a glowy finish in your foundation, I highly recommend that you get your hands on this one. It has a beautiful glowy finish. It's extremely hydrating. Tatcha even tells you can put it on without putting any skincare underneath. I never do that, but like you could. I did try it and it worked really nicely because there is a ton of hydrating ingredients in this foundation. The glow of this foundation does not come from it having mica in it or any other glowy products. It truly is the skincare in the foundation that makes it glow so beautifully. Even though it's a very hydrating foundation, I do find it to be quite long lasting. It has a beautiful high medium coverage. I will say also the best way in my opinion to apply it is with a sponge. Whenever I've applied it with a brush, I don't love it as much as the sponge application. So do keep that in mind, but it is a beautiful glowy foundation. If you love the glass skin look, if you love that very beautiful glow to your skin, I think the Tatcha foundation is 100% the way to go. And then the last foundation I have to recommend to you in this video is the newest Fenty foundation, the Fenty Soft Filter Foundation. I have mine in shade 185. This foundation is fantastic. And it's different from everything I've talked about so far. I chose foundations in distinctly different kind of foundation categories for me. This one is the foundation that is going to go onto your skin, last all day, sink right in, and have a beautiful natural finish all throughout the day. It's definitely not as glowy as the Tatcha one. It doesn't have the blurring effect of the stick or the customization aspect of it because it's a liquid foundation and it doesn't have SPF, right? So it's, again, in my opinion, a bit of a different category. It's a beautiful foundation that is going to be reliable. This is like a go-to everyday type of product that is going to stay on beautifully, that is very low maintenance throughout the day. I never get oily when I'm wearing this foundation, but it also never gets dry throughout the day. It sinks right in. It has a beautiful thin texture. I have highly enjoyed this foundation ever since I purchased it, and so I highly recommend it. If you've been thinking about it, definitely go for it. Moving on to translucent setting powder, and I only have one translucent setting powder to recommend to you guys, and it is this one right here from Danessa Myricks. This is the Danessa Myricks Evolution Translucent Powder. I have mine in the shade pink, but she has like 10 different shades of this powder, so you can definitely select the product that you prefer in this powder. And the reason this is my only recommendation is because I truly believe this one to be the best translucent setting powder on the market above all others. I remember last year in December, way before the Givenchy powder got reformulated, that I told you guys that I like this one even over that one. This is a $25 translucent setting powder, so the price is definitely not bad at all. It has the most amazing formula, you guys, and I also love the packaging with the mesh applicator. Let me put it on because I do look quite glowy today and you guys can see it in action. This powder is super thin and super blurring for the face. It almost looks undetectable on the skin, except all of the glow will go away, all of your pores will disappear, your concealer will not crease. It is just a fantastic translucent powder to own. I'm doing half my face so you can see the difference. I already had translucent powder on, by the way, but then I went on with like super glowy products over top. So here is the translucent powder on this side of my face. Where did my pores go? Where did the glow go? It went away, right? But it doesn't feel super powdery. It doesn't feel cakey or heavy on the skin. It's quite undetectable in my opinion. And something that is very important for me when it comes to translucent powders, I definitely want a translucent powder that is never going to make my makeup look dry, and this one doesn't ever make my makeup look dry. Again, it's just this undetectable veil of matteness that immediately blurs my pores and makes my face look flawless without looking cakey or dry or anything. It's just a fantastic translucent powder. It's affordable, and I have tried the new one from Tarte. I tried the new Makeup by Mario one. I've had the Givenchy translucent powder for the longest time. I've tried all of the Laura Mercier ones as well, and I can confidently tell you this right here is my #1 favorite. If you don't have this translucent powder in your cart, trust me, you will come back to thank me later once you try it. It's fantastic. Okay, my next categories are going to be bronzer and blush, but before I mention bronzer and blush, I want to mention these to you guys because they have both bronzer and blush in them, and they also have setting powder and highlighters, and they are fantastic. And this is the first time that you can get these on sale since they launched a month and a half, 2 months ago. I'm talking, of course, about the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Unlocked palettes from this year. These are fantastic, and to be honest with you, I've been using a lot of liquid bronzer and blushes, but then when it comes to powder bronzer and blushes, this is what I'm reaching for. You're welcome to watch my full review on these if you have no idea what I'm talking about, but the Lotus one is the one for tan to deep complexions, so this one doesn't work for me. The ones that I have been reaching for non-stop, in fact I'm wearing this one today, are the Dragon palette and the Evil Eye palette. Both of these have 2 blushes each, a highlighter, a bronzer, and I have found myself using them interchangeably, both of them just as much. I do prefer the blushes in the Dragon palette. This is the one that I am wearing today. I'm wearing the middle blush right there. So if I had to pick one, I would say Dragon, just because I like the blushes better. But if your complexion is similar to mine and you prefer pinkier looking blushes, then definitely go for the Evil Eye one, because when it comes to the setting powders and the bronzers and the highlighters, either one of these will absolutely work for you. I don't need to talk about how amazing the Hourglass formula is. These powders are fantastic. So yeah, I don't want to spend a ton of time on these, but this is the first time you can get the Hourglass palettes on sale, and I do love them and highly recommend them, so definitely grab these if you haven't already. When it comes to powder blushes, my #1 and only recommendation for single powder blushes in this video is going to be the Gucci blushes. These are fantastic. I am obsessed with the formula of them. They are blurring and they have this beautiful natural finish, the perfect amount of pigmentation, the perfect amount of buildability. These are my three favorite shades: Radiant Pink, Silky Rose, and Bright Coral. Bright Coral and Radiant Pink being my top two favorite shades, but I also love this one. Anyways, I am obsessed with the blush formula of Gucci, so if you haven't tried these powder blushes yet, I highly recommend them. I've been obsessed with them. These have been my #1 favorite powder blush for what, 2 years now? They're fantastic. And then when it comes to liquid or cream blushes, I only have one suggestion for you. And this is a suggestion that kind of creeped its way up to like first place. Because when I first tried it, I was a little like, it's cute, but whatever about it. And then the more I used them, the more I fell in love with them. I'm talking about these Saie Beauty blushes. I have my two favorite shades here to show you. The shade Cutie I have been loving for the fall season. This one is so stinking beautiful. I'm actually wearing this blush today underneath the powder one from the Dragon palette because it just is one of those neutral toasty shades that is a perfect color for the fall season. And one of my favorite things about the Saie Beauty blushes is the beautiful glow they give your cheeks. This one here is my other favorite color, which is a bit more kind of summer springy, and this is the shade Sweetie. Just a beautiful peachy blush. So take a look at them. They are not overly pigmented where like it's scary to apply them. You can do 2 to 3 dots and be okay, and you can blend its pigmentation out very easily, and you can go back and build it up if you need more. So it's a very easy to use blush formula. My favorite thing though, the glow that it gives your cheeks is beautiful. If you go back to like the beginning of the video and like my glowy cheeks before I powdered them down, that is thanks to these. And I really love that look on my cheeks, in particular on days where my skin is not breaking out, which is not today. But anyways, the Saie Beauty liquid blushes are my #1 blush recommendation when it comes to anything liquid or cream. These are fantastic and they have a ton of different colors. These are just my two favorite shades. I also fell in love with the Saie Beauty liquid bronzer when it came out. The shade that I usually use is the shade Sand. Again, this is the shade of bronzer that I am wearing today. I don't think the bronzer is as glowy as the blushes, which is a good thing, but it's still a glowy bronzer. If you want to, you can very easily mattify it with a little bit of translucent setting powder. Again, this is what it looks like on my skin. I've been wearing it for the past hour and a half or so. It still has a bit of glow to it, but not as much as on the back of my hand right now. I love it because it's easy to use. Again, just like the blushes are, you can build it up if you need to or blend it down. It's a no fuss type of product application, and I find that the shade Sand specifically looks very natural on my face. It gives me a good amount of sculpting without it ever becoming too muddy or without it ever becoming too warm. The shade Sand is beautiful and I love the formula of these, so I highly recommend it. And I do have one other bronzer recommendation, and that is a cream bronzer from Too Faced. These right over here are fantastic. This is the Melting Bronzing and Sculpting Stick from Too Faced. I have two shades that I like. Chocolate Souffle is one of them, and the other one is Chocolate Mousse. I think Chocolate Mousse is the one I use the most. It's probably a little bit darker. So here is Chocolate Souffle, or maybe a little lighter. And here is Chocolate Mousse. Yes, a little lighter. Chocolate Mousse is my #1 recommendation actually, because it's a bit more cool tone. It's the one that I have used the most for sure. I'm obsessed with the smell of these. They smell like cocoa powder. It's fantastic. They have a beautiful, these blend like an absolute dream, as you can see. They have a beautiful natural finish to them. The color Chocolate Mousse, which is the one I'm blending now, it's nice and cool tone. It gives your face a beautiful amount of sculpting. I don't ever feel the need to add any more bronzer on top whenever I use these. It just gives me the perfect amount of color to my face. It sculpts my cheeks a little bit. It's easy to work with, easy to apply. I have zero complaints when it comes to this one, and I'm recommending it over the Westman Atelier stick that I always recommend to you guys because it's more affordable and I like it just as much. So highly, highly recommend these, and I feel like they're not talked about enough. I don't ever hear anyone talking about these, and they are like 5 stars. They're fantastic. Only a few products left to go because I will do a separate video on eyeshadow palettes. So let's talk mascara. Again, only one mascara recommendation today. I feel like I did pretty good. And that is the Exagger Your Eyes mascara from Charlotte Tilbury. This is new and it is beautiful and it is fantastic. It's the mascara I'm wearing today. You won't see it on top because I put on falsies, but like my lower lash mascara, you see it. This mascara brings the drama. It's going to elongate your lashes and separate your lashes and thicken your lashes in the most beautiful way. I absolutely love it. I tried it and I liked it, but the more I've used it, the more I've liked it. It's one of those mascaras that needs a little bit of air let in, and then once it starts getting a little thicker, then it gets good. It's such a good mascara. If you like dramatic, beautiful lashes that will make you not need falsies, this is the mascara you guys need right here. I intended to just do this mascara today without falsies so I could show you that, but my lashes have a ton of lash glue in between them, and it was going to take me a long time to get the glue out so I could just do mascara properly, so I opted for more glue instead. Anyways, just trust me, thank me later, this mascara is beautiful and you need it. Let's talk eyeliner, and I have 2 pencil eyeliners and a liquid eyeliner to recommend to you. The Laura Mercier Caviar pencil liners are 100% super mega worth it. This is the shade Cocoa, which I am constantly wearing on my waterline, and I absolutely love it. It is super richly pigmented. It stays on my waterline all day. You barely have to like build up the intensity because it is so intense and creamy. You could also use it on the eyelid and it blends out beautifully because it's a very creamy formula and I love it. I highly recommend it. The color Cocoa and the fact that it has a bit of like warmth to it is going to definitely make your eyes stand out. But if you don't like that, they also have like regular black and brown and bronze and different colors. Cocoa is just my favorite. And then when it comes to eyeliners that are nice and colorful to combine with your colorful palettes, I highly recommend you guys get your hands on the Glossier eyeliners. This one in particular is the one in the shade Muse, which I have been using a lot with the new Roxa palette from Natasha Denona. But they have a mint one that I also really love, and there is another one that's kind of like a mustard yellow that I really love. I love putting colored eyeliners in my waterline to combine with the palettes that I'm using. And when it comes to fun, light pastel colors, the Glossier ones not only have an incredible formula, but they usually have the shades that I need. So highly recommend these. And then when it comes to liquid eyeliner, I have a recommendation, and it is the new Anastasia liquid eyeliners. Sephora only sells these in black and brown. I have the brown one on today to show you. These are beautiful. You can create the sharpest lines with them. They are liquid and they turn matte pretty quickly. They are razor sharp. You can create the most stunning sharp lines with this eyeliner, which makes it very easy to control and very easy to use. I've been so impressed with this eyeliner formula and the applicator. Very important, the applicator is amazing. So if you're looking for a new liquid eyeliner, this one I've only tried for like 3 days now, but I can't stop using it. And I don't even like do wings or that often, but now I'm like, ooh, should I do a wing? Because I have eyeliners that I can confidently use without thinking I'm going to mess up, you know? Because that's my problem usually. I finish up an eye look and I'm like, if I put eyeliner on this, I'll probably mess it up. And so then I don't. But these make me feel like I can do eyeliner, which is unheard of, to be honest with you. You just have such control with them. Anyways, let's talk lip products, and I have 3 different lip liner formulas to recommend. This is my #1 most favorite lip liner in existence ever. This is actually my second one of this Natasha Denona lip liner in the shade Natasha, and as you can see, I'm already like half through it because this is my signature nude lip liner shade right here. It is beautiful, it is creamy. I blend it in most of the time. I love the pigmentation. Even though it's a creamier type of lip liner, I feel like I can get a pretty sharp line with it because it's so pigmented. So I love this. It's again my #1 lip liner. Fantastic. It's just, I love it. I need a backup already. But then I also have a couple other lip liner formulas that I love besides the Natasha Denona one. Another one that I've talked to you guys about in the past is the Anastasia lip liner formula. This is a bit of a harder type of more precise pencil. Here is what it looks like. Those colors are so similar. This is the shade Mocha, which is a little warmer than the Natasha one. And with the Anastasia ones, you can get not just a really beautiful blend, but you can get a more sharp, precise line. I love the formula of these. Nearly Mauve or Burly Mauve, I believe, is my favorite shade, which I don't know where mine is. I've been looking for it and I cannot find it. Anyways, the Anastasia lip liners are my favorite. And if you're a fan of like MAC lip liners, for example, is like the oldest thing I can think of that has that type of formula where it's like nice and pigmented, but it's like a harder pencil and you sharpen the wooden thing. It's, oh, I love those types of lip liners. Anyways, last but not least, Saie Beauty lip liners also have the Anastasia type of crayon where it's a little harder, but you can get a bit more precision with them, and I absolutely love the colors that Saie Beauty came out with. Here's the shade Tease, which is a beautiful brown, and these are super pigmented and creamy. The shade Twist, a bit more of a rosy type color, and the one I've been wearing all throughout this video, the shade Flirt, which I'm going to swipe right down here. These lip liners are also excellent. I absolutely love them. Can you tell I like nude lips by my lip liner recommendations? I think so. Anyways, when it comes to lip liner formula, the bottom line is Natasha Denona, Anastasia, and Saie Beauty are the 3 that I am recommending most because they're the ones that I am constantly reaching for. The lipstick I've been wearing all throughout this video is not quite a lipstick at all, but it is my #1 lipstick recommendation, kinda, because my favorite thing to do is to apply one of those lovely lip liners I just showed you around the lips and fill it in a little bit, and then go on with this like I did today and just have the lip liner color be the lipstick color, but then add this glow on top. I am talking about the YSL Lip Glaze, and no matter how much you have heard people talk about this one, I'm here to tell you this isn't an overhyped product. It is appropriately hyped, okay? Because it is amazing. It's pricey, but it is so worth it, especially because, like I said, I can make any lip liner into a lipstick with this because it melts the lip liners into your lip as your lipstick, and then it gives you this amazing glow to your lips in order to make them super juicy looking. Not overly hyped, even though you probably have heard a ton of people talking about this one. Appropriately hyped, in my opinion. This is my #1 lipstick recommendation. If you have not tried it, I highly recommend that you do, especially if you, like me, are someone who loves to wear lip liner, because any lip liner you own will become your lipstick once you put this over top. And then, I don't know, the possibilities are endless when it comes to this right here. It feels wonderful on the lips. It just gives you the nicest amount of hydration, makes your lips look nice and plump and juicy and fantastic. It is a beautiful, beautiful product to own, and I highly recommend it. You will have no regrets. Now, I do also have a lipstick splurge recommendation because I splurged on this a few months ago and I have been loving it, and I am talking about the Westman Atelier lipsticks. I have mine in the shade PK, which is this beautiful cool tone rose shade. Take a look right here. These are super pigmented and they are like a natural to matte finish that feels hydrating on the lips. They have incredible, beautiful, chunky, weighted, glorious packaging, and they make your lips look fantastic. I have been wearing this one a lot with the Saie Beauty lip liner in the shade Tease around it, and this combination makes for the perfect full lipstick that isn't orange or too warm, because I don't like warm lips. I love it. I love the way this looks. In fact, let me go ahead and put it on for you so I can show you. Here's the lip liner on its own, and then the shade PK. You can also make PK a lot lighter than this. This kind of makes it darker because of the lip liner color, but I love the result. See, here's PK without the lip liner and then combined. I love it. And for different seasons, you can, you know, change up your lip liner and use this very versatile rose color differently to create stunning lip looks. I think this Westman Atelier lipstick is absolutely 100% worth the splurge. I love the formula, I love the packaging, and the color PK specifically has worked wonders for me. I love a cool tone lipstick, okay? I love it. A cool tone rose shade, just beautiful. Believe it or not, we only have 2 products left to go, both of which are lip oils, and I'm just going to talk about both at the same time, I guess. Why not? The Saie Beauty lip oil formulas are fantastic. These are some of my favorite shades right here. These are going to have a bit more pigment to them. They last for a really good amount of time on the lip for it being a lip oil, you know. The shades have a light to medium amount of pigmentation to them. You can beautifully combine these with lip liners as well to get very juicy, glossy looking lips that are not going to be sticky because they're not glosses, they're oils. And then I also really love the Kissing Jelly Glosses from Too Faced. These are going to not have as much pigment on them, but the formulas are fantastic as well, and some of them have really cute, beautiful sparkles. Also love to wear these on their own, or I love to combine them with lip liners. I love lip oils because they have the glow of a lip gloss, but they're not sticky. I hate sticky lipsticks, and so those are my top 2 recommendations when it comes to lip oils from Sephora at the moment, and my favorite shades as well. I swatched Disco and Bounce from Saie Beauty, and then the 2 shades I swatched from Too Faced are Grape Soda, which is my favorite shade. If I could only recommend one, I would do Grape Soda. But then I also really love this blue one because it makes your teeth look white, and this one is called Cotton Candy. Sephora recommendation videos are usually pretty long. I think I did a better job than other times at narrowing down my options, but this, I'm sure, is still a pretty long video. So if you made it all the way to the end, I want to thank you, and please let me know you made it all the way to the end by leaving a fire emoji down in the comment section, and that way I'll see your comment and I'll know you made it all the way to the end. I love it when you guys let me know that you made it all the way to the end, because I've been speaking for a while, okay? Anyways, I love you guys so much. Remember, if you are purchasing any of my product recommendations, to use the products tagged on the video or the list of links in the description box below. Whenever you shop from my links or my tagged products, you are helping out my channel. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up before you leave. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and I hope to see you back in the next one. Bye.